Welcome to Be Yourself as Well as Art, the anti-chat show, in search of Joe Franklin here with the holiday spirit and cheer. We have it all going on here, and we're looking for Joey Franklin. Where can we find it? Let's see there. Yeah, there he is, Joe Franklin. Be Yourself as Well as Art, the anti-chat show, in search of Joe Franklin and a holiday cheer.
Today to explore 21 original dynamic songs that'll have you hooked from the very first beat.
Here we are in search of Joe Franklin, going down the corridor. We'll see if Joe Franklin's available. The door looks ajar. We have no appointment for Joe, but we're here anyway. Hey, Joe. Are you here, Joe? It's the professor. How are you? From the college. Tom Regan. I'm coming in. Hey, how are you, Mr. Cohen? To the stars. How you been, okay?
Friday, okay? Well, I have a steady hand.
We got Joe Franklin on the television, and then we got the real thing.
Somebody stood up for himself?
Yeah. And I couldn't believe that you could respond to it with such telepathy.
What was it again?
Blew it right off.
We got Sasha on television in Joe Franklin's office.
Again. No more batteries, low. I finished. No, it's not. Here, come here. No, finished. I'm through. I'm through and finished. Ever. Boom. Come on. Keep
Be Yourself as Well as Art.
Boys.
This is where Joe Franklin stores his excess material.
And there is a lot of excess material.
No other place to store his material. He sends it down to Sasha on 2nd Street.
Yeah, okay.
All right, there we go. Let me see. Be Yourself as Well as Art, the anti-chat show. On the road here, there, and everywhere. Going to see the Indigenous Theater Initiative with Macarita. All right, my friend. Hey, Sasha. How you doing?
Pachunga.
Pachunga, because Mikhail is married now. Say, God bless you, Mikhail.
God bless you, Pachunga, Mikhail.
Jazzle?
Johnny Rack, you said one more word. You're gonna get yourself a belly full of that, boy. Spasibo.
Be Yourself as Well as Art with the Russian gangster. Are you louder than the call to prayers at the local mosque? All right. What was the story you're telling? What did you sing last time on this song?
I never got to finish the song. I started with one verse of Lady Madonna,
Right.
and then I put in the words in between the chorus, you know,
Right.
the Lord sees and the Lord provides. Right. And then we broke into a French song that, and
Can you
then
give me a little taste of that French song?
I could do it with the guitar.
All right. How about if I just go ding, 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 ding. Do one word?
I could do that.
All right. Give us a couple of words or something.
Instant charmant, où nos craintes fait trêve, où nous sommes à deux seulement. Tu es maintenant, arme change vieux de faire un rêve. Ding!
Before we open it up for questions, tell Banaba, I just want to say thank you very much for being here. And something that struck me, because last night we just saw the excerpt, so the wonderful the nature of the piece is that you're laughing, but of course all of a sudden you're so taken aback as well that the message comes through the humour.
There goes Joe with Buster Keaton.
Yeah, why not? You mail them. You just how many is give me $2 you can mail. Seligman, yeah. Oh, yeah, I see him. But Seligman you can mail. Yeah.
Amazing.
Not kidding.
Rugby team from South Africa touring in New Zealand. We went to war before we went to prison for that.
Oh, one to one, yeah. Elected by
Families, one's a member of parliament now. The other one's Tama Hiti, who's a full-face Moko. He was arrested a week after I filmed him last week for a documentary on terrorism, raising 2 boys. So that was screened as on TV for television in April, and it just won the Best Māori Language Film for what's his film and television awards.
This Fraga Hermont, what kind of tree is that?
It's called a pua in Samoan. It's easy to say.
Good, that's easy, thank you.
I mean, in Samoan, they just say pua.
Pua.
P-U-A.
Poor
Thank
tree.
you, Connie.
When you go under this tree in bloom, have you ever made love in it?
I'm a child. I'm a virgin in the Pacific because we have a very high AIDS rate. That's a warning to you all.
There you are with Be Yourself as Well as Art with Tallulah Bankhead on the steps of the Capitol. Joe Franklin was probably there. If not, he was somewhere in the area. Tallulah, big Tallulah Bankhead with her personal assistant. Whoa. Day.
No kidding.
And I'm coming, yeah, because we couldn't get out of the city on Thanksgiving, so we went up in order to bypass the Deegan, we went up the concourse.
Oh, yeah.
And there I'm on the corner, and it's Joe Franklin Way. When did they name that way after you, Joe?
Yeah, because I was inducted to the Bronx Walk of Fame.
Yeah, I was up there. You're originally from the Bronx, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Be Yourself as Well as Art will return with Joe Franklin momentarily. But we're here amongst the nostalgia. And who do we see up there? Who's that? It's a great big show. It's a really big show. Oh, yeah. It's a really big show tonight. All right, Ed Sullivan. I think he was a cousin to Patty Murphy, Dennis Murphy's old man. Well, Sullivan, Murphy, it sounds the same.
Yeah.
Welcome to Be Yourself as Well as Art, the anti-chat show with one of Joe Franklin's famous playwrights. What's your name, my friend?
Mark Westin.
Mark Westin, and you're a prolific playwright, right, apparently, and I see you have some literature about the Bronx in your hand. Maybe you can elaborate on what you do and what you're up to.
No, this is something late. This is a magazine.
Yeah.
What's it called? Back in the Bronx?
Yeah.
Been out for a long time. It's a good magazine.
Yeah.
And they just published something I wrote.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Called the East Bronx Cinemas.
In about an hour, yeah.
And it's by me. Well, Marvin Hershkowitz is the name I was born under.
Oh, yeah?
Where are you going, Joe?
I'm just going to wash my hands.
Okay. And I wrote a story about the old theaters from the East Bronx. You know, the small theaters?
Yeah. Well, I was just up on Tremont. There used to be a nice one on Tremont, right?
They're Lois Fairmount.
Yeah.
There it is.
Where is it?
There it is on the bottom.
Okay, let me see that.
You see it?
Yeah. That was on Tremont?
Yeah.
And what else do you got there?
Then we got the Vogue, the Ellesmere, the Deluxe.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. And what was your given name?
Hershkowitz.
And what's your stage name?
Mark Westin.
Mark Westin.
Yeah.
Do people change their names as much as they used to these days?
Not now, but way back then they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't want to have any. You didn't want them to pigeonhole you, so you'd give yourself a
No. It was what, 52 I joined SAG.
Right.
I came out of service, and I remember the first commercial. I'm the Brill Cream man.
Oh yeah.
8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, first commercial I got was Coca-Cola. My agent said, "Oh, Mark, you can't be Marvin Hershkowitz with Coca-Cola." So I was stationed at Westover Air Force Base, so we got Mark Westin. But I still use both.
That's good.
Still use both.
This way they can't really find you when they Google. They have to know how to Google everything.
I'm under both in Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, Google for some. Yeah, Google's got all my movies, all the ones I've written, been in, Yeah, they do a good job.
What are you working on lately as far as your playwriting?
A new play called Harry and Eddie, The Birth of Israel.
Really?
But that's been going with Ed Asner for about a year and a half.
Oh, really?
And who's the well, here's Eli Wallach did it last year
Really?
with his wife Ann Jackson.
Wow. I mean, come on, you can't get better than Eli Wallach.
No. And so that play is doing very well, and we're opening off Broadway
When is that coming up?
in the spring next year. Here, I got a picture of me and Ann,
Right.
but we did it out in East Hampton. Okay.
Well, you got-
And I looked at this thing from the newspaper, had a whole big write-up about me.
wow.
And I read it, and I never knew I did all that. I read it, and I got so tired. My God.
Well, you're pretty prolific there, my friend.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And how long you know Joe Franklin?
Before he was born, I think. A long time. He's my biggest fan, my biggest mentor. A lot of my plays are, whenever my play is done in New York, it could be a biggest rainstorm or snowstorm, and you can bet your life he'll be attending every show. Yeah, Joe Franklin. He's one of a kind. He's the best.
Did you first debut on Joe's show, or did you get a
I've been on a number of times.
Oh, yeah?
With one of my shows called Bagels and Luck. And then I was on with the 9th of April. And every time I have a new show coming in off Broadway, Joe used to put me on.
Great.
Punishment for me.
Well, I just came from the 7th annual IT conference for the City University of New York over at John Jay today.
Yeah.
And, I think I'm a little bit like you. I was pretty much overwhelmed by all the stuff that is coming and going, what they're creating, and how you could do everything with just a handheld, it's like iPhone now.
What's this BlackBerry? Do you use a sour cream with it or
I
what?
don't know. Well, they actually the guy it was a gentleman from the Times, Pogue. He's a writer, and he panned the new BlackBerry.
Did he really?
Yeah, he said he didn't like
I
it.
wouldn't know what the hell it is anyhow, let alone do it.
You can have cream cheese in BlackBerry. Here we are with Joe Franklin. Joe, what do you have to say to the audience for...
Well, I want to wish you a merry holiday season. Deck the halls with matzo balls.
All right.
And sleep well and eat good and enjoy the turkey. And your host, Tom Reagan, is a wonderful man. I've been a fan of his since I'm a little kid. He's been my role model. He's been my mentor through the years. And to be on his program was a great thrill for me. And may you live as long as you want, and may you never want as long as you live. And here's to our wives and sweethearts. May they never meet. And, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. I've always asked my guests to give some little max or something inspirational. Those are some of the...
I like one that my best man, who's now rest in peace, used to say. He said, "Hey, don't keep the faith, spread it around." That was who? That was Tug McGraw.
He was a wonderful man.
God bless him. Matter of fact, 2 weeks ago I met my namesake. On the day Tug's son was born, I was with Tugger at the hospital. He says to me, "Mark, we don't have a name for the kid, so could we use yours?" And for all these years, the name was Mark McGraw. And I didn't meet Mark until about 2-3 weeks ago. 2-3 weeks. I have it here. I thought I did.
This man is a very important man. His name is Mark Westin. He's appeared all over the world in his one-man show. He worked for the crown heads of Europe and for the bald heads of America.
Yeah.
And he's one of the
There
tops.
he is. That's Tug McGraw's son, Mark McGraw. The other one is Tim McGraw. You might have heard of him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Very nice. Oh, those are good people. You're doing some arm wrestling, huh? That's fabulous. That's a nice picture.
And that's a hat that Tugger gave me when he won the World Series with the Phillies in the '80s. And I miss him. I really do miss him.
And maybe do a couple of riddles. Huh? What do they call a gay milkman? Dairy Queen? Let's see,
Joe.
How you say brassiere? How you say brassiere in German?
Do you get that in the mail?
Stopping from flopping.
Do you get that in the mail? Back in the Bronx.
No, I'd like to see that one day.
Didn't you get it?
Not yet, no. Maybe you get me on the mailing list?
Yeah, sure. I'm surprised you don't have it.
Let's see now. How about
We were up in the Bronx. We saw Joe Franklin
Joe.
Way.
Oh, I love it. God bless you. The copy, huh?
That's the other name. You know that.
Great, yeah, that's fabulous.
I got it.
No,
I got it.
let me get it, Mark. Let me get it, please. Mark, let me get it. No, let me get it.
Oh, wait a minute. It's on both sides. It's okay. Yeah, there it is.
Same thing.
It's on both sides. Yeah, it's first there and then turn it over.
Old movie memories.
I'm very proud of this one. I'm very proud of what I wrote here.
About the old theaters.
About the old theaters. Listen to this, Joe, just for a second, okay? One thing all those neighborhood theaters had in common was the aroma, an invigorating sensation from the refrigerated cooling systems that hit me when I entered the theater. Do you remember that smell that hit, no matter what theater you went to in the Bronx? You got that hit.
That's
okay?
right.
Now, one more question, and I won't bother you no more, Joe, I promise.
All right.
All right, I'm going to read this to you. We were given numbers at the matinee of the kid matinee on a Saturday morning.
Right.
1 to 10. Numbers. If you got number 4, and if that in a race, if number 4 won, you won a gift. Okay.
Right.
To this day, I have never read about or met anyone who admitted to witnessing the race. Why? Each runner represented the vilest representation of ethnic individuals. If I were to describe the runners, the Anti-Defamation League would throw the book at me, with good reason. But for 15 cents, other than the race, I was rewarded with a few two-reel comedies, calming attractions, a newsreel, a double feature, and most importantly, the weekly adventure chapter, which became a magnet to return to the movie house. Do you remember that race where you had, like, number 8 was a Chinaman, number 5 was a Greek, they had a black number 6 or so, and it was the vilest ethnic descriptions.
How do you feel, Mark? You feel good?
You
look wonderful.
You do look wonderful, Mark. Now, was that a video race or was that on a film?
Motion pictures, and they
on celluloid, yeah.
Yeah,
on celluloid. Every Saturday morning, they'd run a different race, but the same characters. But each character was like, let's say, a Chinese man would have his long hair down to his waist.
Right.
They have a Greek whose pants always fell down. A Jew who was always, I don't know what the heck they had a Jew doing, but with the beard and everything.
Very stereotypical.
Very famous actress. Say hello to Deanna.
Hello, Deanna. How are you today?
Hi.
We're here interviewing Joe and his famous playwright friend here. Your name again, my friend?
Mark Westin.
Mark Westin.
And Joe?
Are you an actress, a singer?
All of that.
Would you like
artist, a painter.
Oh, really? Would you like to give us any kind of a song or show us one of your paintings today for the television?
Oh, wow.
Because Be Yourself as Well as
I'd
Art.
like to show you some of my paintings.
Yeah, you have any with you?
Let me see if I do.
All right. Because Be Yourself as Well as Art is much like Joe Franklin. We try to give a leg up to anyone who is possibly needing a leg up.
Here's another article.
What's that art?
Just came out in American World War II.
Yeah. You wrote this as well?
Yeah, sure. They're printing everything.
Yeah.
This came out American World War II. Joe.
I need that. Yeah, I need that. I heard it. So proud of you, Mark.
They're publishing everything, Joe.
Terrible, huh?
Here, something else for you, Joe.
Oh, please. I love that stuff. Oh, my God. That's incredible.
You know who that is?
Ann Jackson, of course.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
No,
in the
too
art with me,
bad.
I'm sorry.
You know,
Is there anywhere we can, internet site or somewhere we
Yes.
can, go ahead, what is it?
Just Google MD Choice Designs.
MD
MD as in Diana.
Okay.
Choice, CHOICE, Designs.
Okay. M
D
Choice Designs. Great.
Yes.
Wonderful. So we're looking forward to checking that out, and I'll actually
Thank
maybe.
you. The work is very bold, colorful.
Great.
Yes.
Wunderbar. Wunderbar.
You don't have a copy of Back in the Bronx?
Take a fast look.
Get out of here. You don't have a copy?
And these are for you, Joe.
I'll call Steve right now and get you a copy.
Yeah, please.
You got a cell phone anyway. You're going to pull out a cell phone, huh? That's not so
I
bad.
hate cell phones.
I don't have one yet, you know.
It's
I
not on
hate
big
cell
print.
phones.
But you got one.
But
You can hardly talk on the
beautiful.
damn.
Wow.
remember,
That's
you
nice,
told me
that's
that you wanted me to bring you
Yeah,
in.
yeah, wow.
So I did.
You're close to each other.
Oh,
Ask
can
them
I-
Yeah, let me have that. That has the phone number.
I have a reading I like to do.
Joe, what high school?
I went to, I took a course, a 4-year course in ignorance. I passed it in 2 weeks.
What high school?
Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
And he was at the high school at the time you went, right? See?
Abraham Lincoln.
Oh,
I
it
know
was
the
Abe.
teacher
Abe was
one day, he has to, who killed Lincoln? So one kid said John Wilkes Booth. And after the class, they all beat him up. You know why? They said, we don't like cheaters. We don't like snitchers.
Yeah. Steve! Mark Westin again. I'm fine. You know where I'm at?
You're going to be
How
so
would you
proud
know?
of me.
I'm at Joe Franklin's.
I turned this into the...
He does, but he
NYU
doesn't have a copy. Is
This
there
is
any
for
way
you.
we can send him one
Yeah, I want
copy?
to read it on the radio.
Yeah, hold on to it. Hold on
One of
here.
those.
Joe, give me, talk to Steve.
Steve, how are you?
Is he the editor of the magazine?
Are you kidding? Who could ever forget
Steve,
you?
the editor?
Yeah. He prints everything I write.
Yeah, yeah. Good,
Of
good.
course, she's a great lady. She's getting some publicity. She's getting good press lately, huh? What's your wife's name?
Everything I write.
Well, what's your-
I'm
what's your-
getting
what's your
printed
wife's name
all
now?
over the place.
That's
Suddenly,
great.
Yeah, she's a
Everybody
wonderful
wants
lady.
to do my
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, you know,
Don't
you have
ask me how.
you have a lot to say.
Yeah, listen,
I-
send me that.
I have a friend of mine-
Can I give
a
you
new
my
play of
address,
mine, a
Joe
10-minute
Franklin?
play.
What is it?
Take your time.
It's supposed to be done in Hollywood this spring.
300 West 43rd.
A 10-minute play. There's evidently a lot of 10-minute plays.
Yeah.
About our president. What do you want to call him?
1036.
Bush? Is that his name?
Is the X one, the old one?
This one. This one.
That's worse than that. Worse than that.
And it's a play about. It's a fictional.
Well lived. Publication's going
A
nice,
year
huh?
after he's out of the White House
So proud of you. Kid.
He
Man,
thinks
listen,
they're
I'll
gonna
call you
build
right
him
away.
a
When I get it, I'll call
monument
you and tell you.
in Washington,
Okay, kid,
D.C.
I love you.
He's
God
thinking maybe
bless.
they'll put it
Hold
up
on, Steve,
with
hold
the
on.
stone.
Say goodbye.
Bye-bye, Steve.
Great shot.
Okay, you got it?
Thank
Do you
you.
got his...
Thank you.
do you need a suite
it's
number?
only
Joe,
Harry's.
you need a suite number?
305.
305.
305.
Couldn't hurt.
I love you. You too, bye.
Shut up.
Okay.
Hey, look at
oh,
that.
yeah.
Beautiful, wonderful.
All set. Okay? You'll have it by Monday.
God bless you, kid.
Thank you.
There he goes. There goes the.
Yeah.
There goes the
917.
email mdchoiceart@gmail.com.
That's right.
00
Deanna Choice.
72.
You might need her for your next show.
no
Be
choice.
yourself as well as art. The anti-chat show here in downtown New York with Joe Franklin. Joe. Happy holiday, Joe. Happy Hanukkah.
Your troubles are over, kid.
It's all over, right? We got the new year coming with Lawrence Welk.
That's right.
Da-dun, da-dun,
I got a
dun,
problem.
Hey.
dun, dun, dun.
The play I wrote for Franny. Yeah. Remember I wrote it twice because
Yeah.
I wasn't sure of the second character.
Yeah, yeah.
Now the other one was with LaShans and Franny. But Franny felt that the first one didn't have enough conflict.
Right.
So I rewrote it. Huh? But meanwhile, she read the other one. And she said, this is the one I want.
No kid.
This is,
That's fabulous.
oh, well.
The right is in the rewrite, I think, no?
Oh, yeah.
You got to rewrite it.
Yeah,
and-
sure.
But that's good that you're capable of accommodating people's needs, wants. You're a versatile writer.
Until
can use
proven
my
I
checkbook.
can't do
You
something,
can
guess
use
what
my
I do?
checkbook now.
You do it.
I do it. Yeah.
Put some money in it.
Inner Storm, sponsored by X-Lax. And there was panic. They had to change the name in minutes. Yeah. It turned out to be Secret Storm. But the original name was the Inner Storm.
And isn't that what X-Lac causes, the inner storm?
I said, help me God, that's the
The inner
truth.
storm, the rumble, and the downpour.
Ooh.
The Inner Storm, sponsored, and the big story, and I'll leave you alone. When I was on a Broadway show, Time Limit, Arthur Kennedy and I became good friends. Okay. So I used to, after the show, I'd meet him in the dressing room, and we'd go out and have a bite. Okay. One day, Albina Marshall and Lawrence Langner, Joe, do you know the names?
Of course.
Came by to visit Arthur Kennedy. They had a problem. They said, Johnny, you know that the Theater Guild has first refusal of all George Bernard Shaw works. But we have to make a choice between... Yeah.
You can go ahead.
Now you...
Right.
Rewrites, changes, and all that. You never got a chance to work it. They would give you new dialogue. Hey, we're going on in a few minutes. That's what it... I mean, that's... Oh, what can I tell you? Every night was like an opening night.
Yes.
Yeah? And
More like the theater than the...
It was like the theater.
Yeah.
And look at the writers of that era. Look at the writers who used to write for the T. Rod Serling, Patty Chayefsky, Neil Simon. We had, I mean, the big guys, the great writers used to write for that. What do you got today? What do you got today?
Rod Serling is from Dayton. Was from Dayton,
Yes,
Ohio.
yes. You remember Rod Serling?
Yeah, absolutely.
Twilight Zone.
No, yeah, I tell you. God.
What a job.
We can only do one.
Right.
And you know we have first refusal, the Theater Guild, on all George Bernard Shaw works.
Right.
One is an Affair of Honor, a comedy about the Revolutionary War.
Right.
And then she looked at Johnny, Arthur Kennedy, and she says, Johnny, you really don't think My Fair Pygmalion could be made into a musical, do you? Right. And they passed on My Fair Lady, and they took an Affair of Honor, which lasted 27 performances. And that was I was there. I heard it. They had the choice. You don't really think Pygmalion could be made into a musical?
Talk about plays, and I remember I was once with George S. Kaufman. Remember the name George S. Kaufman?
I knew him.
And he was with a young playwright who had just auditioned a play that he wrote. So he says, Mr. Kaufman, what do you think about the play? He says, well, I'd say it's a very good play, but in the last scene, I would have the gentleman kill the other man, not with poison, the way you have, but with a gun. He says, why? He says, that way you might wake up the audience.
And all that. He would sit in the green room. You know, he'd be on What's My Line and all that, George.
Right.
And he loved baseball, Joe.
I know.
And we used to sit and talk about baseball. But that was George S. Kaufman. He was my number one, Joe.
He was great.
He's my number one. All right.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank
Joe
you.
Franco and his gang.
141.
Hello.